Hello, welcome to Toby's Freedom. It's the 18th of September 2024, and I'm gonna talk about the seest disaster again in English. And this is an alternative article that I found. I've done another video in Danish about it, but I'm gonna do it again for people who don't live in Denmark or who are not Danish. And this was actually our 9/11, even if the case is so weak. We had another similar case, but that was a ferry fire, stage arson, insurance scam, Scandinavian Star, the 7th of April 1990. But this psyop or hoax or lie or bullshit, staged event, orchestrated, is more, it's bigger than Scandinavian Star. And people dismiss it because they don't want to hear the truth, and people don't really do their research. People just go on with the terms, don't look into anything, actually. And this is the closest to an alternative article. So we're gonna read it up. So if you already know about the seest disaster and you don't give a shit about it, then don't watch this video. But it happened the 3rd November of 2004, so it's 20 years ago, and I have to talk about it again. We're getting close to the anniversary, so I have to do more videos about it, because nobody else is doing it, and the media won't talk to me, not right now, but I've sent them so many mails about it. Please do an alternative story about it. Please do an interview with me. I want to talk about it in the news or morning shows. We have TV2 and DR have some. In America, it's called Good Morning America, and in Denmark, it's called Good Morning Denmark. Good Morning Denmark. And we have something called Aften Show, the evening show. I don't know whether you have that in America. I don't know. It's not a comedy show like Jimmy Fallon or Stephen Colbert or Letterman or Leno, but we have an evening show. I don't know if you have that in the States or Canada even, but I'm trying to talk about it, and it's not easy because people don't want to talk about it. They just want to go on along with the flow, you know? And people think it's crazy and insane that accidents is a lie also. But the thing is, this case is weak because only one person died. And Scandinavian Star was more. There was 159 people who literally or supposedly died, and he was supposedly one firefighter died. But the case is so big. It's so big and so huge, so we have to talk about it anyway, because there was 3 earthquakes, and there was explosion, and there was fires and all of that, so it makes a credible story not to forget. But people don't want to go back to the past. I don't know. I'm keep guessing. I don't know why people don't get on to the bullshit. I don't know. But here we go. We're gonna read it in English. Written by Kasper Krog and Michael Bjerre. Disaster struck seest on 3rd November this year. In few hours, NP John Johansen's fireworks factory and the surrounding detected houses were razed to the ground. The explosion cost the life of a fireman and forced 2,000 citizens to flee. And again, this is wrong. This is fucking disinfo. This is a fucking lie, because Seest has 4,400. That's the population of Seest. That's the suburbs of Kolding, actually outside of Kolding. It's a small city in Kolding, a nearby town. And they said 2,000 citizens were to fled. But what happened to the 1,900? What happened to them? You can see there's lying. The following day, Kolding Multiplytene hired the law firm Beck Brun Dragsted to renew the multi-planet cases management of NP Johansen's fireworks factory over the past 30 years. On the 20th of December, Monday this week, Kolding Multiplied then called a press conference where the mayor Per Bødker Andersen, Social Democrats, presented the result of the lawyer's work. They concluded in the report that Kolding Multiply has largely met the requirements of the legislation and therefore has no liability after damages after accident, which is estimated to be 750 million Danish kroner. The report was published even before the police had clarified what caused the accident and why developed so catastrophically. The aftermath of the biggest fireworks accident in Denmark's history is underway and therefore indicates that there will be QE at the sink. Kolding Multiplatini is not alone in the investigation what went wrong and whether some can be held responsible. In the addition to Kolding Multiplatini, the city's police evaluate the preparedness as all authorities who were at the scene of the accident. At the addition, violent country which was responsible for the environmental control of the fireworks factory has launched an investigation. Finally, the Ministry of Business and Industry has set up a bullet digging the community that renews the rules for firework companies. There are therefore several investigations into the same disaster, and there's already room for disagreement. And here comes the first one, and it's so obvious. And Kolding Multiplanet, I call it commune. I don't know if you understand what I mean, because it's really hard for me to say that word. That's embarrassing. For good reason, the lawyers from Beck Dragsted cleared Kolding municipality of liability, but at the same time the report points out The other authorities did not step in and put restrictions on the fireworks factory. The report also shows that there have been amputees in the approval of the factory on several points. It appears, for example, of the report for two of the five buildings in the factory, there was a mess in the approval because on the side of Colin Mozi Platini had accepted the storage of fireworks in all of the buildings. On the other hand, two of the buildings were officially registered for storage for something completely different, including beer. Can you hear the ridiculousness in this story? Can you hear the stupidness in this story? Can you hear it? And the silliness and the nonsense and the lies. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? It also appears that Colin Mozi Platini gave incorrect information in 2000 when a number of neighbors of the firework factory improved the multiplanet. After a mere firework accident in Netherlands that claimed 22 lives, it's another accident where 4 firefighters died. I don't think this is right. I think, was it 1,500 people died? And Holland has been more open to the idea about it was a government psyop. So, but in Denmark, no, they wouldn't say anything is an inside job. It's very rarely they say it. I think Scandinavian Star is one of the few cases where they said it's a insurance scam and stage arson. So there you go. It's not easy. It's not easy. Neighbors expressed concern that the factory had been granted the permission to build a new 1,800 meters per square fireworks storage facility on the site and asked if the council will reconsider the permission. The response from the Marcia Platini was in the sense as mentioned. It is the emergency management agency that has the authority in the area. The city council has no possibility of taking permit of reassessment. Can you hear the corruptness? This is all corrupted. This is fucking corrupted and nobody talks about it. Nobody. People just go along with the official story. There were some few people back in 2015 and 16 when everything was new and the activist movement. It was a false flag operation and all that. I don't believe in false flag operations. False flag operations you can say about very, very, very few things like 911 and Oklahoma bombing and some few Danish cases. Never mind. It doesn't even matter now. So you can say very, very few things are false flag operations. Actually, false flag is only to confuse you and put you down the wrong way or the wrong path, because you need to know the word stage or hoax or set up or scripted or orchestrated or that. False flag is holding you down. It's a trap. So many people in Denmark still use the expression of false flag, and that's quite stupid, actually. So Falsk flag, false flag is no, don't say that. You can rarely say it. False flag means that somebody really died, and I'm gonna say here supposedly or allegedly because I have to be careful because there is some people who get offended. Many think I'm crazy, but I don't think nobody died or nobody got hurt or injured here in the seest disaster. If you understand what I'm saying, the 911, somebody died. Oklahoma, somebody died. I mean, those cases were huge. COVID, somebody died. Even if you call it a hoax, but those three cases are huge. But I won't call COVID a false flag either. That's a hoax. But you get the idea. You get the idea. Toby, how can you say this? We knew this guy, we knew this woman died in that case, or that media story, or blah blah blah, etc., etc. You're fucking crazy. Your tinfoil hat is very pointy. You're fucking crazy. Take your pill. Go to your doctor. It's called being sketchiness, critical and skeptical. But that answer was wrong. The report states because formally calling multi-planet could have revoked the permit, but did not, as the multi-planet used emergency management agency as guideline as a assent that it would be a drastic an intervention. Koldings mayor Per Bødgaard Andersen, and he's not even the mayor anymore. It's this guy Knud Erik Langhoff. So he's not even there anymore, but he's in the documentary 24 Hours We'd Never Forget. It's a DR propaganda documentary about the disaster. Regrets that formal mistakes have been made out, but believes, like the lawyers in report, that the mistakes were not related to the accident on the 3rd of November. In the turn of the amount of fireworks of the factory, the report for Aarhus lawyers showed that apparently no limits were set as far as from the material received at the cases renewed, it can be established that there only be modest conditioning between the police, the emergency management agency, and Kolding Multiplanet. Respectively, as far as granting permission for the storage of fireworks is concerned, the report states. It simply states that in 1981, the Kolding police gave permission for the fireworks factory in a store total of 50 tons of fireworks. It's not clear whether the police later enforced this, that the Kolding police will be disclosed this today as the material is part of the investigation into the accident. The report also states that Kolding Multiplanet in 1999 to 2000, shortly after the firework accident in Netherlands, asked the emergency management agency if the agency considered limit how many fireworks the factory could store. But according to the report of the National Emergency Management Agency, replied in both cases that there was no upper limits. The National Emergency Management Agency assesses in the entire period from 1975 to 2004 that there has been no reason either to store limits for the fireworks to revoke approvals already given according accordance with NP Johanssons Fyrværkerifabrik AS. And the same reason Kolding Multiplanet did not set any limits how many fireworks the factory could have in stock. Shortly after the accident, Kolding police estimated that the factory stored 2,000 tons of fireworks, gross, lin, gunpowder, cardboard, plastic, and wooden sticks in total. You can see, you can hear the corruptness, and the seest citizens are so fucking naive. They're so enfortized. They believe in government. They believe in multiplanet commune. I call it in Danish. They believe in government. They believe in media, and etc. etc. I spoke to them on Facebook. I've been a member of Kolding a group on Facebook, and they all pushed me out of the group. They didn't want to hear this because they like the lies. They like it. You know, this is truth in plain sight. The National Emergency Management Agency confirms that the agency did not set any upper limits for amount of fireworks at the NP Johansson's fireworks factory, but it will not comment on the report from Kolding Multiplanet. The report is purely pesticide submission that we have no comment on. This is Kolding Multiplanet view of what Kolding Multiplanet has done. One can excuse me. Let's read it again. The report is purely pesticide submission that we have no comment on. This is Kolding Multiplier's view of what Kolding Multiplier has done. One can wonder that the report was apparently commissioned before the fire was fully developed. But a party is allowed to express his views, says Director of Emergency Management Agency Frederick Scheid. He does not believe that the Emergency Management Agency has failed in the seest case. In general, our position is that we have not made a mistake in this. We have simply worked in accordance with what we believe in to be right and prudent thing to do. The Kolding accident has given us rise to new knowledge, which will make one of us in the future. And you can hear the slaveness. Police are slaves and other followers. Firefighters are order and followers. Lawyers are slaves and other followers. Doctors are orders and followers. Nurses are order followers and slaves. And journalists are slaves and order followers. And politicians are orders and slaves and order followers. And press secretaries and so on and so on and so on. There's so many of them, and they took an oath and they don't want to tell anything, just want to go on the flow, and nothing happened, and that's it. Just dismiss it. Go close with the doors, Don't tell anything. Just go on with it, or you're gonna be fired. You're fired. Mayor Pølker Andersen denies that the lowest report is a party submission. I believe that the report is impartial The investigation has only carried out by impartial lawyers who are not employed by us but paid by us. I believe the report provides a certified answer that others also conducted investigations. The sum or total of these investigations should hopefully prevent something similar from happening again, he says. And that's the same with the other video I haven't put up yet. I'm going to put it on YouTube soon, but it's the case of the police shooting a civil citizen with a knife. Oh, they just killed him, and the case is dismissed. There's no further in it. They took a life, and also here, it's the same thing. So why would these cases be real if they're not convicted? Can you hear the ridiculousness and nonsenseness and bullshit and all over it? Why 99%, let's say 80% of all cases, they're never convicted. Never. You know? Somebody died in the factory and they're not convicted. I think the 2 firefighters who got injured got some insurance money, and also all the 85 civilians that don't have any names, and the 2 factory workers that with the box of fireworks dropped in the container. They also got some, there are no names on them, they also got some money. And of course, the family of the firefighter got some insurance money as well. So you can see it's all money racket, it's insurance scam, it's stage arson, it's insurance scam, stage arson, pyrotechnic and controlled demolition, because there was 3 earthquakes and there was some explosions. I mean, it was so big. It was all planted event. Everyone investigates themselves. But what about other investigations in the seest disaster? According to the Cutting Police, the investigation into preparedness for the accident takes place for every authority that has participated in the efforts. The first team evaluates its own efforts, which is it all written together by the police in Culling with assistance from the National Police. In other words, the police judge themselves, the rescue team themselves, the fire service themselves, etc. The police chief in Culling admits that this does not provide an obeisness investigation. And even this that I'm saying, I can't prove it because all evidence is gone, is burned away. They have new apartments already. They built up on the ground where Kløverkærsvej, where the factory was. There's nothing there except for apartments now. The whole factory is gone, and all the evidence, even surveillance. I mean, they had surveillance in 2004. There's no surveillance from the factory, so they can't even prove that this firefighter died or 2 other injured. They can't even prove it. All material is gone and burned away. So they're very, very, very smart. They're very, very clever, you know. We can collect experience that we have gained and present them. But if you ask whether it will be objective evaluation, The answer is of course no, because we are part of it ourselves. But I think that the best suited to do the investigation because we already have handle on the parties involved. And this is the rest of it. And I'm gonna end the video when I'm done with this article. So you get the idea. This is alternative story. Even from the mainstream, Berlingske is a mainstream. This is the closest you get to alternative story about the seest disaster. In the trade magazine Brandvæsen, section leader Niels Johan Juel Nielsen from the Copenhagen Fire Service Emergency Management Office recently stated that the independent commission should be set up in event of accidents such as in seest. And the funny thing is, there were no. I have to do another video where I have to do a new video when we are closer to the Jubilee, because the pictures are so obvious. There's a fire truck driving up to the crime scene of the fire at Kløverkærsvej. Then the police officer, a female police officer, running up to the factory. It's like the fire truck was driving, start driving just when the cameras went on. It was like a movie set, you know. They knew they were going to a fire. They knew it. And these factory workers dropped 284 tons of fireworks purposely in the container, done by purpose. Let's see here. And there's no video footage, news footage from the crime scene. You can only see from the sky all of the fireworks in the sky, all the explosions. You can't see anything what's going on inside in the factory, and that proves nothing. I can't even prove that I'm saying is right. You can't prove they're saying is right. And there's no pictures from before the factory was there. There's only pictures when the factory was in Kolding. There's no pictures from N.P. Johansen from seest. Go look it up. There's no pictures. There's no pictures of it. There's only pictures of after the accident happened. There's no pictures from the factory at all. You can't find it. Nowhere. I don't know if you have to go to the archives in Kolding and ask for it. I don't know. But there's no pictures online. Nothing. That's quite interesting. Copenhagen Fire Service Emergency Management Office recently stated that the independent commission should be set up in event of accidents such as in seest. The attitude resonates with several members of the party Christiansborg ARA at Enhedslistens Line Barfod, who himself. That's wrong. Line Barfod is a woman. That's totally wrong. Herself. She's not a him. Line is a woman's name. Proposed something similar. When the authorities investigated themselves in the accidents like one in the seest, you can be left with suspicion that there is the way that it acquitted. Therefore, there should be a fixed procedure in case of major accidents so that independent investigations are invited, which, e.g., have see where there are maritime injuries or casualty commissions. She says, SF's social Folkeparti, Ville Søndal, he's not even there anymore, and she's not in anymore either. But it's an old case. It's 20 years ago, so Ville Søndal supports the idea. Does the Danish People Party's Peter Skaarup, he's still in the parliament. That the radicals, Morten Bødskov, he's still there, and the Social Democrats, Per Kålund, I think he died, believe that is so drastic and automatically reduce commissions, but say that it can be considered in disagreements arise after an accident. That's it. That's it. So, I hope the news will interview me, because I'm the only one in Denmark who's top open of this literally a supposedly accident. Only one. Fucking insane. All of the other false, fake, phony gatekeepers, they are very narrow, so they don't go on the media so much. Only if it's the big ones like the Israel war, Ukraine war, COVID, or inflation, the political situation in the parliament, and also in the states and all of that. They're very narrow, so I call it gatekeeping. So, but I don't think so. They will contact me. I have a suspicion that they won't do it. My suspicion is I'm not finished yet with the video. My suspicion is that they're gonna make a new documentary with the people in seest 20 years after, and they're not gonna go on with my story. They're not gonna go with any kind of alternative option or story. Just go along with the flow, and they're gonna interview people in seest and Kolding if they remember the accident, and they will show clips and interviews and the live photo live the news reports from the day that it happened. They're not gonna expose themselves, and they're not gonna go with another story. I know this is confusing, and I know many of you are not confused because you're awake. So, but they're not gonna go with another story that was 16 years before this happened, with the supposedly shooting of a police officer in Købmagergade in Nørreport, in Maine, Copenhagen. The post office robbery, the supposedly post office robbery with 14 million Danish kroner that was sent to Palestine. There was no weapon found, and this is the same day that happened, the same day, but not the same year. 16 years in between. They're not gonna go with the alternative conspiracy narrow story. No, they're gonna go on with the bullshit. So that's it. I don't think anything's gonna happen. So nothing's gonna change. I mean, they lie about everything, and I know it's easy to say that, but If you look on the 911, the alternative footage, and you look at the NASA moon landings, all of them, not the one from 1969, all of them. You look at all of the 8 NASA landings, NASA moon landings, so called. Then you know everything you more or less anything is open and you can do it. You know, everything is possible for the media if 911 and the NASA moon landings are not a lie or real. So you can say this is kind of close to a truth, but I call it controlled opposition, but it's close. So yeah, there you go. That's but just my opinion, but I will end this video right now. So take care. See you in the next